I'm up here like it's black. What's going on? Good morning, Tommy. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, everybody else. Yes, go get your blanket out of your room. Go get your green blanket off your bed. I said it's on your bed. Mm-hmm. I didn't say under. I said on. My face is itching.
Make sure he ain't whatever buttons he pushed ain't pushed no more.
Hopefully, you guys can hear us. Quad thinks he's a sound engineer
Yeah.
and has been turning the dials
My
and
man's be pushing everything.
moving stuff up and down.
Well, welcome to
What is she doing?
the yeah. Well, guys, welcome to the coffee break. Today is what's today? 19th.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Linda.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Danny.
Good morning, Danny.
Good morning, Avis.
So I got new mic cords because people were saying that my mic goes out.
I thought you had these new cords
I
last week.
did, but I didn't announce
Oh, okay.
it. Go finish your food. So yeah, we in here. We in this thing.
You know what's funny?
What?
It's 8:36, and we started doing the coffee break at 8:30 because we was like, oh, the kids will sleep until at
Yeah.
least 9.
Yeah.
Now Lily be like, I'm
It's
up.
Lily. It seems like she waits until she be like, okay, I hear him moving. I hear him moving. Okay, it's about 8:15. Let me go on and get up. Let me do my thing real quick. I'm gonna go
Because
on and
this
get up
isn't the
out of here.
time that she wakes up for school. Because this is actually, I get her up for school at like 6:15. So
Yeah.
we're like 2 hours late.
Our show was like, man, we need to change the coffee break hour.
I be thinking that
Be
sometimes.
like, yeah, Lee, it'll be us and the wind. We sitting up here talking about stuff.
Cause it is rough.
Man, did you put something in here?
Creamer.
No. Um, yeah, man. This week has been rough, man.
Has it?
Yeah.
Why?
Um, I just ain't paid attention to a lot of stuff outside of what's in front of me.
No, you're studying.
Yeah, trying to at least. Um, Madden came out, so I tried to get a little that in. I played one game, was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. Quiet was like Quiet was sitting there watching the game with me. And then he started moving around. Then finally he just laid down. It was like, all right, man, I'm out.
I don't even remember you coming back upstairs.
I didn't. I came back to you woke up when I brought him in there.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I
Well,
know it happened, but
I
I
was
don't
finna tell you.
remember it.
I was finna say. I'm just telling you what happened.
Um, yeah, I just this week hasn't. I haven't been paying attention to anything, but it's not because of what's going on around me.
Yeah.
I've just not been paying attention.
Mm.
I've been trying to map out my new normal day,
Hmm.
which is going to be interesting when Lily has breaks from school. Like that week that they're off for Thanksgiving. I was like, we did not get a week off for Thanksgiving.
Nah, we got a few days. No, we would go Monday.
We went Monday, Tuesday, and
No,
Wednesday.
we didn't go on Wednesday.
No,
Wednesday
we
was a
did.
half day or something like that.
What, Lily?
I don't remember, but I know
What?
we went.
Okay, I'll turn it on in your room.
I know we went that week of. Now Christmas we got off at the.
Oh, Tabitha, thank
Thank
you.
you, Tabitha. We got off. Yeah, mommy's turning it on now in your room. Yeah. Um, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, we got off Christmas like the week before Christmas, and we'll be off for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Christmas is always a 2 week, and that makes sense because it's not technically Christmas break;
Yeah,
it's winter break.
yeah.
It's just encompassing all the
Do
holidays.
you remember the first time you didn't come home for Christmas,
Um,
and how was it?
I definitely remember the first time I didn't come home for Thanksgiving because that was,
First,
yeah, I didn't come home for Thanksgiving first. I think I went home for Christmas every year.
did you?
I just didn't stay the full time.
Um,
Like I remember one year, the year that I worked at the mall, I waited until Christmas Eve
yeah,
to go home.
yeah. I remember the Christmas before and the Christmas that I didn't come home because the
Mhm.
Christmas before I was like I could have just stayed in school,
Mhm.
you know. Um, the Christmas, so the next Christmas, I think I went to
I don't understand why you didn't go home cuz home for you was just 2 hours.
yeah, but it's just I got bored,
Um,
you
I
know.
mean, I would have went maybe and then came right back, but you went home a lot more often than I did too
Yeah, yeah,
because it was just 2 hours. It was 6 hours for me. And I'm like the last thing I want to do on the weekend is spend 12 hours in the car.
yeah. Like that was the thing for me. It was like, man, I could have stayed at work or something like that. So,
Mhm.
um, what we talking about first, man?
Michael Orr
All right,
is
let's do
the
it.
first thing that I listed.
Excuse you.
Lily just burped so loud.
Excuse you.
I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but he should have as loud as it was.
Um, where's the
So
document?
I sent you a text with the direct link to it, but it's
Oh,
in your Google Drive as well, labeled as today's date.
I got
Um, so Michael Orr, his conversation is coming back out again about how inaccurate the blind side was if you guys saw the movie. He was in the movie adopted by
you.
a
Okay.
family who helped him transition um from being a high school athlete into being a collegiate athlete. And apparently they had him sign unknowingly as a, I believe he was 18 when he signed it, as an 18-year-old, a conservatorship agreement instead of them legally adopting him. And they gave him a story which was very believable that you can't adopt an adult, which I actually have an acquaintance who her husband adopted her daughter and they waited until she was of legal age to do it so that her biological father could not contest.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it just changed her last name as an 18-year old. So it's obviously possible. However,
So
go
hold
ahead.
that thought.
Hmm.
We got to talk about how great of a story The Blind Side was.
I
I think it was an awesome movie,
hmm
right? Very inspirational, and for me when I'm watching it, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He made it to the league cuz
hmm
the way he was going wasn't going to get him to the league and
well, what way was he going? Because I
in the
didn't see
movie.
this film. That's what I'm saying. What way
No,
was he
I'm
going?
saying in the movie.
I'm asking.
The movie depicted him as a and I put emphasis on that part because it's not how reality was,
Correct. I
you know.
understand that.
So in the movie they depicted him as a troubled teen
Uh huh.
who basically had to make the decision of if he's going good morning,
Good morning.
if
How
he's
about?
going to um going to school. I don't know if he was. I
What do
think
you
he
mean
was
by
playing.
trouble? Because I did not see the movie. That's what
Like
I'm
he
asking. I'm literally asking you to tell me what happened.
so troubled by like he lived in the hood
Okay.
and gangs and violence and all drugs and all this stuff was just around him.
But he was not involved.
Not, I don't think he was, but it was like
Okay.
almost
I mean, I
like
get
he
that
was
they
on the
have to
verge.
sensationalize these stories
Yeah,
for a movie. Like
yeah,
that's what Hollywood does. I completely get it. That's why I'm asking
yeah.
what I'm asking.
I think his mom, like it was crazy because it was like he was in the neighborhood where somebody was trying to shoot him or something like that because he was just a big guy who people didn't like people would mess with because they made it seem like he was stupid.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that.
um and that he couldn't fend for himself or think for himself, and that this couple or this I don't remember the lady's name, but she came in. I don't know how she saw him or what happened or whatnot. um I'm gonna watch it again just to be sure.
Danielle said missing school.
Yeah, that's it,
His
that's it.
mother had a lot of kids and she was able to take care
Troubled
of. They
teen.
got him involved in football. High Vibe said that movie was yet another white savior movie I watched, but I was rolling my eyes a lot.
And
Yeah, I
see,
just pulled up the Wikipedia page because Tommy was having a
I was
trouble. He
having a
was having
real
a
hard
really hard
time,
time.
really hard
So it
time
says that he was
explaining that.
born in Memphis, which I knew that. Of course, that's how the story hits home
Yeah,
because it is home. And apparently, he was one of 12 kids, and his mother suffered from alcoholism and crack cocaine addiction. And his dad was in and out of prison. So he repeated first and second grades and attended 11 schools during his first 9 years as a student.
yeah.
He was placed in foster care and
Well,
alternated between living in various foster homes and periods of homelessness. His dad was murdered in prison when he was a senior in high school.
thank you guys for helping me out because I was like, trouble teen, that should be enough. Use your imagination.
So that's interesting. Like the thing that I knew about him was that he went to Briarcrest High School, right?
Yeah. Is that a
Briarcrest doesn't sound like trouble teen
mm-mm.
to me. That's why I was asking, like, what happened?
Where's Briarcrest High
It's
School?
a
What type of school is it?
it's a Christian school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Is that the school that that the white couple put him into?
um I don't know.
I often say, why does it sound like water is running?
She
But
be leaving that tablet
it's her
on.
tablet.
I apparently
How is she gonna
somebody,
access
a
to it?
mechanic helped get him admission into the school
Yeah,
under some contingency with the headmaster.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. Apparently that's how he got linked up with that family though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because their kids were already going to Briarcrest.
Yeah. Well, I didn't look at it as a white savior movie at the time that I saw it.
Hmm.
I just thought it was another football movie that depicted of a kid going to. That's on you. So quick pivot, and then we're gonna come back to it. Lily has first week of school developed a code, and both of us are tired of this code. It's been this is the second Friday or second Saturday with it, and yeah, both of us be. It's funny because we be like, "What we supposed to do?" Going off on each other, and be like, "I don't know what we supposed to do, but I'm tired of it." And so both of us look at each other. We have blown a lot of no's from one person. And then I think Quad imitates her when she coughs, which is funny to me. But yeah, so we're dealing with that. So school has been very interesting this first week. I swore up and down that they was gonna be like, hey man, you need to come get your kid. So but yeah, blindside. What was going on with
She was sitting on the toilet. I don't know.
her?
She didn't even use the bathroom.
So blindside. Um no, I thought it was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the white savior part. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think about that until just now. But watching it, man, it was like, yeah, it's just another football movie that you see people that come from impoverished homes and make it to the league. However, they need to make it to the league. The thing that I didn't know about was like the conservatorship part and how how is it that his story, like they basically abused him.
Hmm.
His story. Um, you gave her something to drink.
That's what I'm about to do.
Good morning, Sharon.
Go ahead. Tell the story. I'm gonna listen to it.
His story, like they made so much money. I don't know how much money they made off of it, but they made so much money off of it, and he didn't get anything for it, and it's his life story.
And they wrote their kids into.
Yeah, I heard that they gave their kids money into the contract with the movie. So their kids made money, they made money, but Michael Orr didn't get any money off of his story. Without him, they don't make that, like that money is a miss. You don't have it without him. So it's like, how is it that, like, what was the premise going forward into it? Because I mean, doing when you did it, what was the intention behind it? Like, what was your point, right?
He came to the edge of the bed. He was sleeping like
Oh
this.
yeah.
The edge is right here. His head's right here.
My thing is when you what they say? Oh yeah.
High Vibe said they used that kid like a slave. The author of the book is their friend, and the production company is owned by their son-in-law. He was a come up.
Yeah,
He was a good deed come up.
my thing is, right? I'm all for a come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for use your resources to get what you want,
Mm-hmm.
blase, 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 but don't abuse people.
Mm-hmm.
And like for you to write your kids in,
Mm-hmm.
you got something. You didn't give this man anything for his story, and then you trick him.
Mm-hmm. That definitely should be investigated because they if I'm not mistaken, they were part of the booster club.
Yeah, they had something to do with Ole Miss, but I,
Yeah,
I
they went there. I mean, I know that. I'm saying like us going to UT and the amount of money that we are not giving to UT.
yeah,
If we had a child in our home that wasn't ours and we were steering them towards UT, it would be because of connection to the school, right?
yeah.
It wouldn't be because we're putting money into it financially
Like
because we're not.
the thing about it is, financially or not, I'm gonna be like, hey, you to my kids, UT needs to be on your list. We gonna go visit UT. It needs to be on your list. All because I went. UAB needs to be on your list because I went.
I can't argue with that.
That's like,
I think though that again, not strange that you would be steering this child towards there, but when you put all of the things that have happened together,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a lot.
No, no, no. I'm with
Hmm.
you. It's definitely a lot when it comes to the whole story, but it's just, it makes sense that they did that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And they said that they're going to they're talking about terminating the conservatorship now that he's like it's this conversation is making rounds again and he's petitioned court.
No, they need to.
In the movie, there was an issue with him going to Ole Miss. He had to go in front of some board telling them why he chose Ole Miss. Yeah, because they were part of the booster program. I'm not going to do that. I would leave it open for my kids to decide. I don't care if I went or not. Good morning, by the way. Good morning, Steve.
No, it's
What did
like
he say? It's legal for him to go to Ole Miss because his people wanted him to.
I ain't gonna be like, hey, you gotta go, but yeah, man, it needs to be on your list, just like I did TJ. Hey,
Yeah,
man, you checked out UT, great school.
I believe that all the options are out there, right?
Yeah.
So my job as the parent, which his parent couldn't do this for him,
Yeah.
obviously, but my job as the parent is to present the options. I never went to a HBCU, but they're at the top of the list for my
Yeah.
kids to visit.
Yeah.
Like, and they have family members who were connections. Absolutely. When Quad is getting ready to think about college, he is going to talk to Hubert. He is going to
Yeah.
talk to Brian. They both went to Morehouse.
Yeah.
Like, Lily is going to talk to her cousin-in-laws who went to Spelman
Yeah.
and any other black school, like friends that went to TSU.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
let's
Let's
go visit the
discuss.
campus. Let's have these conversations. I'm not saying that we about to do like a full-on HBCU tour or anything of that nature, but you need to go visit these schools and make decisions for yourself, because I can't steer you into anything, but I can show you all the options that are available for you.
Yeah.
I never watched that movie because I hated how it made or looked like an imbecile. As a native Memphian, I can't co-sign that. That's why I was telling Tommy I've never seen this movie
Like that's
either.
and for me watching the movie, of course
You
I
was
like
like,
the
remember
movie.
the Titans part two.
Oh man, like no. Remember the Titans is probably one of the greatest.
No, I'm saying, but that's what it was for you. It was just football movie.
Yeah. Remember the Titans is top two sports film ever,
I've
and it
watched
ain't number two.
a lot of Remember the Titans.
Man, I watched it the other day and damn near teared up like I ain't never seen it before. Strong side. No, but for me, watching the movie and let in mind, I never thought about the white savior part,
Mhm,
right? Just looking at a movie for the story of what it is because I've seen that before.
mhm,
It wasn't necessarily a person where I see this person, I get connected with this person, and now I want to adopt this person and it benefits me in this way. But I've seen where a kid was on the wrong path, but an
mhm.
awesome athlete. And only thing they needed was some type of stability in going a different direction and boom, things click for them, you know?
Yeah. Steve said I did see The Blind Side, but I haven't followed this story.
Yeah. Um But it like it and to see him in the league, the only thing that's frustrating to me about that whole situation, because let's call a spade, and y'all can disagree with me or whatnot, all you want to. If it wasn't for them, how
Mhm.
does he get to the league?
Well, apparently he got into the school on his own merit.
I'm just saying, how does he get to the league if they didn't help him? What like put him in a stable place? He did get into the school by himself.
They said it was a mechanic that helped him get into the school,
Oh, okay.
not what's their last name? The Truoys.
White people.
Okay, dear white people.
I
Um, there
don't
it was
know.
another person who helped him get into
Oh, okay.
Briarcrest,
So what
and
did they
then
do for?
they took him in to have somewhere to live.
Oh,
Now, that's not to say that someone else would not have done that. I
but
don't know if
they are the ones that did it.
they're the ones that did it,
We
and then
can't
they
change that.
steered him towards going to Ole Miss, which who's to say that if he hadn't decided to like go to the University of Memphis, he still would not have been a top athlete because the skill was there, right?
The apparently the skill was there. He made it to the league, but it's I do believe a lot of things have to do with place.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if you put SEC schools up against Pac-12, they're gonna look at the SEC schools
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
than they would the Pac-12, depending on position.
Hmm.
Because SEC schools, you're gonna look quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, corners, and safeties. But Pac-12, country fed big boys.
I was reading something that said he was playing three sports. He was playing basketball, he was playing football, and I don't know what the other
Yeah,
sport was.
he was baseball.
Baseball. I know
Yeah,
he was no track,
it was track.
track,
Who played
basketball.
baseball? Dude,
I don't know.
You good? What's up? Excuse me, guys.
There's wipes right there.
She said,
All I
what?
know, this shows us that they are their ancestors. I don't really know. I know that he played multiple sports. I know that it's been said that they steered him towards football being the sport of choice, because when you're playing that many sports in high school, if you have the option to play sports in college, you do have to start focusing on one sport, because you can't go out and play multiple sports in high school. I'm sorry, in college. So, I mean, I get it. You had to pick a sport. You basically pick a side. Football is what I guess he seemed to be the most dominant in, and that's where it went. But it's wild to me that there was a full I'm trying to pull up. It might not come up. There was oh, here it is, the legal claims. So this month, he filed a lawsuit alleging that Leanne and Sean never adopted him, and they created the conservatorship, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name. So they used their power as conservators to strike a deal that paid them and their two children millions of dollars in royalties, while he got nothing from the royalties. Um, it's basically he's just asked the court to end the conservatorship and issue an injunction barring that family from using his name and his likeness, which basically, y'all was playing with me, so I'm gonna stop any future money. What does it say? I heard that he knew about the conservatorship and referenced it in his own autobiography. I don't know.
I didn't know he wrote a book.
He says that he didn't know
So I wonder,
at
did they
one
get money
point.
off the book?
Probably. I would love to see like the details of the conservatorship.
They said that I heard somewhere that they didn't pay taxes on it. I'd be like, man, like I don't care what you do, man. Just be like, pay. You got to put
Oh,
something on it.
the rest of it is that that he asked for full accounting of the money that the family earned using his name, to be paid his share of the profits and other punitive damages.
Right, because it's a better relationship if I say, okay, we're gonna split this.
Mhm.
You know,
I just wonder, and this is my big question when I'm at work too, when people like pull out stuff from like 20 years ago and be like, I was wondering if this still worked. What happened
hmm
that you decided, because you apparently signed this document back in like 2009.
yeah.
No, not
Now
2009,
2005.
2005.
Yeah.
You signed this in 2005, and now it's 2023, and you like, what's up with that money?
Right. It makes you think like he hurting right now. I
Wait,
don't
what?
know.
These folks just took his story and made money off his back. I wonder if he didn't understand what the conservatorship was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that has to be it.
If Britney Spears can end her conservatorship, so should Michael. Or Britney definitely needed somebody to help her.
I just
And I'm not saying that she needed help with the financial side of things, but Britney's still out here twirling in her panties, and we need her
as
to stop.
Pliers say, oh, the halfway down. I like it.
Somebody was like, she doing this for Plies now.
She got to. She got
In
to.
the autobiography, he said he didn't know the difference between an adoption or a conservator, but only cared that they are a family.
Time out. At 18, that makes sense.
No, it absolutely makes sense.
That makes sense. And if I'm telling you I can't adopt you, but this conservatorship is the same thing, says the same thing.
Mhm. If you sign this allows me to help you as your mom.
Right. All right, cool.
It's a
I'ma
selling
sign it.
point.
Because y'all like because like the thing is, man, he put his trust in them. that they were going to take care of him.
I wish I could call in, but because by the time I'm done typing, yeah, I'll be on to the next sentence. You want to send Steve the link?
No. Steve, I hope you took a nap today, man.
Oh yeah, I hope you did too, because Tammy told me how long you was up.
Yeah. Steve is my brother. Um, other half, other third of the Speaker Geekers
Brittany
podcast.
had to fight for that as well, and that took years. She did, and she was up against her daddy. That was the hardest part of it.
Yeah, because you would think her parent would have her best interest. But in this sense, I hope the judge or whoever's over making the decision.
Right? It's 35-year-olds that would sign this and be like, "You gonna do what?"
Right.
That's how people keep getting scammed with the "Give me your cash app number. I'm finna send you $3,500."
That's like the thing. That's like the thing that I didn't understand when like we was out one time. Not me and you, but you know,
Absolutely not.
was that?
Did you really understand student loan interest at
Heck
18?
no, man. I didn't even know that we had to pay it back, and that's just me being 18
I don't
and
know why
not
you didn't
understand
think that.
because I don't look. This is my thought on credit cards at 18.
Steve told you Lulu was gonna get in the car and drive.
Who? Yeah, he did. I was like, at that point, I stopped listening. That was the funniest thing. It was like me and Quad was eating wings, and he said Lily something about Lily getting in the car, and I was like, "Yep, I'm out of this
Mhm.
conversation." Love you, bro, but yeah,
She was saying you didn't understand student loan interest, and
yeah.
she said I signed at 17.
The fact that they like just be like, yeah,
If you don't have a parent, first off, you don't have a job.
right.
You have no proximity to get a job, and they're like, "Here, if you sign this piece of paper,
I'm gonna give you money. Is
I'll
all I
give you."
heard.
I what was the lifetime loan cap was like
Yeah,
$236,000. I will give you up to this amount of money.
yeah.
And I'm just
And
capitalizing it all
but
together.
the catch is I'm borrowing this money in hopes of once I finish, you know, I'm able to get a job
Well, that's basically the
that's
same thing he did.
provided from you guys.
And that's essentially what he did. I'm signing this paper for you guys' guidance in the hopes that I can make it.
Yeah. And the biggest issue that we had was they reneged on their side of the deal.
Did they?
I was supposed to go to school, get a degree.
Oh, you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you was talking
Nah,
about the
like
blind side. I was like, did
see,
they renege
look,
on their
student
side?
loans hit me different because it's like it like once I thought about like the setup,
Uh-huh.
I was like, they got me. They really got me.
For 25 years.
Yeah, really got me. But no, like I'm still talking about the student loan. I gotta get
Okay.
this thought out.
Mm.
They like I did like yeah, I'm gonna do this woo woo woo. But when I graduate, I had to get a part. I worked part time at a glasses lab
Mm-hmm.
for about a year and a half, and then I didn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a college degree,
Mm-hmm.
and that absolutely meant nothing. So it's like y'all reneged because y'all didn't you didn't uphold your part. you know,
Society didn't tell me I was gonna graduate during the recession.
right? Y'all was supposed to make sure that stuff is straight by the time I get done.
Anywho, back to this story. Um, so apparently they've agreed that they're gonna terminate the conservatorship. I don't know if they've agreed to give the money back.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
hoping.
hard. That's a hard. Yeah, I did you wrong. I'm gonna give you back. I can't say that I would if I first off I wouldn't do a person like that. I would always be like, here, man, you get some too, or I treat you like in that sense. I'm going to treat you like my child.
I would have to ask, why do your kids get royalties and I don't?
That'll be the first question,
I thought I was your kid.
right? Why am I like not included?
You needed my name
You needed my story.
That's what I'm saying. My name. You needed my name to tell this story.
Yeah,
So basically, quit talking about me and give me my money.
yeah.
Rihanna said, "Pay me what you owe me."
That's it. No more, no less.
I don't know how that works because that money is gone.
That money's probably all gone, but the thing about it is he probably can sue them for it, but um if it's not required, like if it's not in the judgment to pay him anything, I wouldn't. That's just like let's be honest.
No, I mean nobody's just gonna give you back millions of dollars on some.
Cause
Yeah.
you caught me, I did you wrong. Nah, like if it's not required, they not gonna get that money back, man. Because look what they did.
Well, that's what his request is.
Yeah, they gonna
So
have to require
Steve said, "Simple and easy. Pay me. I take payment plans.
it.
I do.
Right.
The student loan people take payment plans. The royalties get paid in payment plans.
Hmm.
I ain't gonna say payment plans, but they pay you out your royalties. You get random checks.
Yeah,
You're good."
that's too funny though, man. I hope the best for Michael Orr, and I hope he gets that resolved and can move on with his life and do his thing, man, and not have
Hmm.
to be. It's a messed up situation that it comes out. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They basically got this guy for a low price,
Hmm.
and
Yesterday's price is not today's
yeah,
price.
and her
To use
and
all the cliche sayings that we can come up with.
they bought him low and sold him for high.
Hmm.
Hate to say it that way, but that's what happened.
That's what it is.
Um, what was the other story that we had? It's
Oh.
real unfortunate, Steve. Like that like you don't treat people that way.
Hmm.
Like as human, like we almost forget that we're all human, you know? And in certain ways you just don't treat people. Um, let me pull up this document. Oh,
Oh, the Mississippi
yeah.
shooting.
Well, let's stick in Mississippi.
No, they are.
Everybody's in Mississippi. So, is a trial of two white Mississippi men in shooting attack on black FedEx driver. The trial ends in a mistrial. Brandon Case and his father Gregory Case were charged with attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy, and shooting into the vehicle driven by DeMonterio Gibson in January of 2022. A judge declared a mistrial Thursday in the case of a white father and son in Mississippi who were accused of chasing and shooting a black FedEx driver who had dropped off a package at a home after it was revealed that police withheld evidence.
Hmm.
Um, that's some BS if I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like if you know that they shot into the FedEx truck that this black guy was driving, ain't that enough evidence to know that they did something wrong?
Hmm. The good thing though is that it's a mistrial.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that.
You can try it again.
Oh, they can try it once they get all the evidence they
Hmm.
need. Like that's some crazy BS, man.
Um.
Why are there interest rates on federal like funds that we pay taxes for?
Cause they can.
That was my 2 cents about that.
Oh, cause they can.
But yeah, this mistrial thing, man. When I saw that, I was like, I saw it, and then my initial thought was, oh, this is in Mississippi. They're racist. Like I associate Mississippi with racism. Like that in Alabama.
Hmm.
To me, are the two most racist states. It probably not, but two most racist states
I would.
in my mind.
I would believe that. Um. Georgia, not Atlanta or Savannah.
And see, I
Be a high
associate
number three.
I wouldn't even put Georgia there because of Atlanta and Savannah.
But
But I get it. I
those
get
are
it.
the only
Yeah.
blue areas is Atlanta and Savannah.
Um.
So I don't understand how nobody requested this videotape statement and how it was just left out. Like were we just not thinking about this or
No, they all in on it, man. I have to believe if like, and this happened after the Ahmaud Arbery
mhm
situation. I have to believe that they all were in on it, including the police,
mhm
of trying to get these white men uh not life in prison.
mhm
However, I'ma simply forget or I'ma simply make a mistake here.
mhm
You know, just because I don't want what happened to the white men in Georgia to happen to these guys.
but it still can though.
Right. It still can, but I'm gonna do whatever I can do if it simply let me
So you
forget
think
how
the
to do
police
this.
are corrupt
Oh yeah, man. Oh
and
yeah.
those
Like my issue with, like, I appreciate the police.
mhm
I appreciate these guys risking their lives,
mhm
and doing that. But I think it has to be more required to, actually get your badge.
right
Like, that's always been my issue because certain things you're not going to do because you understand that you're breaking the law.
yeah
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
um I don't really understand like how that happened or why it happened, but it should not have happened. And I'm hoping that they take more evidence or better account for the evidence that is there and what is missing if and when this goes back to trial. Who knows how long that will take because when did this shooting happen? This happened January of 2022. Yeah, and the mistrial was just announced here and it's August. So it's been a year and a half since the actual incident. And that's not to say that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We know that there's a lot of cases that are backed up in a lot of places because of COVID.
Yeah.
Um, but
But
the hope is that this does go back to trial and nothing happens in the meantime.
yeah. But just think about it. There should have been some type of check and balance to say, "Hey, I got everything."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
Before this happens, because that's a big case.
agreed.
You got two white men shooting at this black man
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't think he belonged in that neighborhood as a FedEx driver.
Yeah, the argument, like he had on his uniform, but he wasn't driving a FedEx truck. And the issue that I have with that is like Amazon has flex drivers, right?
Yeah.
That drive their own personal vehicles during the holidays specifically. We see Amazon pull up in our neighborhood in some of
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
not just personal vehicles, like they rent U-Haul trucks. They're pretty much just driving whatever
Right.
because the goal is
Let
get
me
you this stuff that
let
you
me get
paid
let me
for.
get these packages so I can get paid.
And me not being able to do my job because that's all he was trying to do is his job is a problem
But was he
because you don't think that I belong somewhere
my
that
my
I work.
my question is, he wasn't at their house.
Exactly.
So what's your concern?
All up in other people's business.
If you mind the business that pays you, you're not in this situation. And it's like the thing that bothers me more than anything else is this just happened. We saw it. The nation saw it with the in Georgia with the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Hmm.
Literally, same thing. He was just running.
Steve said when he drove for Amazon, he drove a U-Haul truck and they were scared because I felt it was easier to see the van and not my small Amazon vest. Absolutely. And sometimes like our flex people don't even put on they like Amazon
Yeah.
stuff. They just
But funniest thing when I knew Steve drove for Amazon, uh I laughed because have y'all ever seen them run back to the truck?
they be moving.
They be moving, man.
My brother was a trainer for Amazon, so he would like ride out with the new people on their
Yeah,
routes. And he was like, man, he was like, me being the trainer, I always helped them
yeah,
and like got their packages together for the next few stops. So
yeah,
like if they was like going into a cove or places that was right across the street from each other,
yeah,
he was like, we just stop the truck, shoot out,
yeah.
come back in. But I know when they come over here, they be moving.
They be moving. I be like, dog, they a ninja.
And sometimes I don't even hear them coming up the steps. I get so mad though when they don't put our package like on the top landing.
Yeah, that I haven't had a time where they don't put it at the top.
I've had them not put it at the top, and it always bothers me because it's usually when it's raining. I be
I
like,
bet
just
you
scoot
I
it up.
bet you did running back and forth to that truck, man, like a ninja.
Mm-mm. And
uh
then you doing that for like 8 hours a
right,
day or
right,
more.
right.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I remember I worked at FedEx, man, for like a summer.
You didn't deliver though.
Nah, I did. I just put the packages on the truck, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. So I didn't. It was like the 4 a.m. to 8 shift.
That
Man, we
makes
used to
sense.
get off of work and go back. We would reconvene at my house,
Hmm.
chill for a little minute, and then everybody just go their own separate way and go to sleep. That was the routine. Well, what was we talking about? Yeah, this trial, man, it just did not make sense to me. Um, and I get it. I think the judge made a decision based off of whatever. I don't know like the legalities of where you have to do things, but I feel like you can make a pretty good judgment about how to defend based off of what's there. And I get you got to have everything. You got to have the whole picture. I get that part, but um, I don't know. It's just another process, man.
Hmm.
It's just another process because you think about them trying to get away. Like, what happens if they do? Because somebody is lost now.
Yeah.
Like, no, no, no. I'm saying like somebody's on trial to be one of the Proud Boys from January 6th.
Hmm.
They can't find him. He was to be sentenced, I think, this week or last week, one of the two, and they can't find him. That's crazy, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I saw it this morning. Um so it's like what if they do this mistrial and they ain't go back on trial to 2025, but in 2025 they can't find the dad or the son.
Right.
You
Because
know,
they didn't jump ship.
they ain't said I'm out of here. I don't know where you go, but
Yeah, I just pulled up the story about the defendant missing. Christopher Worrell was convicted on 7 counts stemming from his actions during the January 6th riots and
I
went
wonder.
missing days before he was supposed to be sentenced.
I wonder is that gonna be uh written in the history books or is it just gonna be kind of like thrown out? Like, that's not important.
Former President Trump threw a party. That's how Florida's gonna write it.
Some people didn't like it, but the other side of it, like man, like I think the times that we're going through right now are
An
so
informal
historic.
gathering hosted by former president.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was trying to think of
Informal.
how are they going to spin
Right,
this.
right. Because there's a spin to it. Uh,
No, it'll definitely be interesting to see how all of this goes. I really wish that our children were older to get the firsthand information from like our families about historical events that they're
yeah,
going to learn
yeah,
about. Um, but it's really interesting it's going to be interesting to see how this is spent.
yeah.
Package delivery in your personal vehicle isn't safe in an open carry environment. You look suspect driving up to random homes. You do.
That's true. That's
But
true.
if we mind our business,
If you know that a package is coming,
yeah,
then you should be okay.
because th- I don't when Amazon Flex is delivering, they don't use the your package is 10 stops away like they do when Amazon is
Yeah,
delivering. But they tell me I got a package coming today and I see somebody getting out of the car at the end of my driveway. I'm just watching them on the doorbell
yeah.
camera. Oh, that's for us? Okay, cool. Yes. Okay.
It's-
Give me just a minute, okay? Oh, you got it.
yeah.
Um
I'm getting myself in today.
yeah, I need a watch again. Don't talk about me. Don't talk about me. I didn't say you were gonna get it. I just said I need to watch again. But this if people would just mind their business, this would be a lot easier. There was no reason to stop this man from putting a package on the front porch of somebody else's home and then leaving. I also hope that they find this Christopher man so he can be sentenced and go to jail. Amazon has created a problem with the same day and getting people their packages fast situation, in my opinion. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. There are some times that um I take the same day delivery option just because it's there. Like when we ordered your Apple Watch.
Hmm.
Yeah, we could have waited for it, but they was like, it's gonna be here between 5 and 10. Okay.
Right. No, I say I pay for the convenience. I don't care about any of that. Like if I can get it and don't have to go to the store to get it, bring it to me,
Mm-hmm.
and as fast as you can.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Because me going to the store is just me going to get it because I want it now.
Yeah, because I want the instant gratification.
What's the instant gratification? That's it.
You know who I wish had a better option of instant gratification? Home Depot. If
Man,
Home
man.
Depot, even if they just did next day delivery without charging me $79,
Yeah.
because that $79 fee burns me up every time
But
I see it.
I want to kind of speak on what Hubert just said. I think that's true, Hubert, that it is Amazon and FedEx's job to make sure their employees safe, but it's also our job as human beings to, if you're going to jeopardize somebody or like protect the community,
Yes,
make
now.
sure you understand, like,
Yes.
hey, they delivering a package, because most of the time people are going to look at it as, I don't got to tell you nothing, I'm just doing my job.
What?
She need more water, that's
Uh-uh. Her
only.
cup is full of water. Go find your blue cup.
um but it's we have to look at people as human beings and not villains, and it's almost as if we
Okay.
we got to be reactive to certain things and proactive to other things.
Mm-hmm. The early morning delivery is dangerous, especially this time of year. Because I know someone who has done Amazon
Good morning.
Flex, and she was telling me like she does like the 4 to 7 when it's available in her neighborhood.
Yeah,
And she lives in a pretty good neighborhood. And that's usually where she picks the deliveries at is in
yeah,
her neighborhood so that she can be back home to get her
yeah.
kids to school. Or I should say her kid, because one of them's in college now. Um,
Man, but I don't shop at Lowe's, man. That's the whole thing about Lowe's.
But
Lowe's
she
is a
was just
great
like she
store.
has to be there like 3:45 in the morning
Yeah.
to be out for the 4 a.m. deliveries. And she was like, I usually only deliver until like maybe 6, and then I get back to the house to get the youngest to school. But it's difficult. And she's like, I've had to call people at 5 o'clock in the morning because I can't get in their apartment gates. I was like, thank God that's not my story. I've only ever had the early morning delivery one time. And it wasn't that I wanted the stuff that early in the morning. It was just an option.
Man, you better put some lights on.
It's great for the customer, but not for the workers. Good morning. I'm late. It's okay. Tommy gonna leave the replay up this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lowe's does have same day and next day, and we got a Home Depot credit card.
Yeah. Right.
That's the problem.
That's the issue.
Although I probably am going to use Lowe's for their next day or same day delivery when we build the strawberry bed so that they can bring the dirt to us instead of us going to go get it. Good morning, Irene. I was delivering at 9 p.m. in the dark in the country. You couldn't see me or the truck sometime. When we lived in Louisiana, this was obviously like way pre Amazon Prime
Yeah.
days because I was like 9. My mom used to drive for FedEx, and she would get up before the sun came up, and some days she wouldn't come back home until the sun was down. And she drove a very, very rural route. But also, she was in a FedEx truck wearing a FedEx uniform, and she was mostly up and down dirt roads. I didn't think about how dangerous that could be literally until cases like this came up. But thankfully, nothing ever happened to her, and she was able to just do her job and, get back home to me safely every day. But it's scary to think how much your safety can be jeopardized just by going to make a few extra dollars.
Right. But it shouldn't be.
Right.
Your life shouldn't be in danger because you're delivering packages for the people.
Hmm. And like, I've had my life endangered at work before, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like coming up on anybody. I'm just literally at work and get robbed at gunpoint. So you go through something like that, it's like, nah, I'm gonna take myself out of the equation where, and that was broad daylight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you take yourself out of an equation where you have the capability of somebody trying to run up on you, or because people be like out here stealing cars
Hmm.
because people leave their car running to make it to the next stop in a timely fashion. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing any of that.
Right. Right.
But this,
Man, it's just we live in a crazy society where everybody's afraid of each other
mm-hmm,
because of what we think somebody else is going to do to us. Um, based off of historical uh tainted facts,
mm-hmm.
you know.
And even with this, Steve, he said, I really don't think they should ever deliver at night, but because they want to get the package to the customer sooner and by any means is now the norm. That's even hard to say because like a lot of delivery companies cutoffs is 8 o'clock, right?
Hmm.
We're about to get into the season where 8 o'clock is pitch black.
Hmm.
Like it's starting to get dark at like 5.
Like that's it. And Steve coming from it from a different perspective for
No, I
me.
get it.
Um, and I can respect it,
Hmm.
because that's my bro. But
That's the only reason you can respect it.
hmm
Oh,
because for
okay.
me, if my package supposed to be here today,
Hmm.
deliver it today.
No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even
I am
say
that
I
person.
can't even say that you shouldn't deliver at night because night is relative based on the time of year. Because right now it's not dark until after
Yeah.
7:30, 8 o'clock, right?
And I'm like, deliver my package.
But
I paid
then
for it.
but then we get into like Christmas season where time is of the essence in getting these packages out. Um
And
5, 6 o'clock,
the
it's dark.
the crazy part about it is I'm going to, like, if Steve be like, nah, we don't need to do it, I'm gonna be like, you're absolutely right. But my thoughts are I want my package and I want it now type of deal. But that's just me, me being who I am. But I can respect the safety aspect of things.
Right, like
I can
even
agree to disagree.
even now with getting up in the morning when I take Lily to school, the sun is coming up when
Yeah,
we leave the house, right?
yeah.
And it used to actually
Not
be
when I leave the house.
I'm not talking about you. And it used to be that if we were up that time of morning, the sun would already be up, right? Or it
Hmm.
would at least be light outside
Yeah.
when me and her would at that time frame, because not when we be getting ready to go to school, but just in general. But now we get up in the morning, leaving the house at 7. She's like, the sun's not awake.
At High Vibe, I be needing my stuff. Like, cause I be wanting to play like uh these
He only needs it because the option is available.
right.
That's the reason that he
I
needs
want
it.
it now. It's my money and I want it now.
That's just like one time I ordered some plant tape, right? And we had the power go out in the neighborhood, and so they canceled all of the Amazon deliveries,
Yeah,
even though the power came back on within like maybe 10, 15 minutes.
yeah.
And then they couldn't tell me when the plant tape was coming. I didn't need this plant tape so bad because I wasn't going outside that night.
I
But
got
it was just like, you told me it was gonna be here this day, and now all of a sudden you can't tell me when it's gonna come.
you. Right. Nothing is a need, right?
No,
Nothing.
there are things that
I'm
need.
not gonna order anything that I need today
Mm-hmm.
from Amazon. Well, yes, I will. But it's because they was like, hey, it's gonna get here at 5 p.m. But if it's an emergency, I'm gonna just go out to the store and try to get it because I know the store might have it today, and I just have to pay the cost of convenience
Mm-hmm.
of emergency, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, take for instance the mics. I ordered it. Um, when I ordered, I think it was like a Thursday, and it was like, yeah, it'll get here by Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have been great if the mics would have got here Saturday morning before we did these, and I have time to play around with these, or Friday evening I have time to play around with these, and then Saturday morning we can do our coffee breaks with the new mics.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing is what I'd be like, yeah, I would like mine now. Just because it gives me more time to mess around with it, and immediately I can do stuff. Because if it comes after we do the coffee break, there's another week where I'm like, well, I don't have this instance to see how it works,
Yeah.
you know. Because as we know, we can go through whatever when it comes to lives. But I mean, getting it now or getting it later, long as it comes, that'd be my biggest thing. Just make sure it comes
I
because I
just be
paid
getting
for it
mad,
already.
and I'm ready for the class action lawsuit against Amazon. I don't know which one of y'all gonna do it, but when we signed up for Prime, y'all told us 2 days, and then they be like, "This is on Prime, but it's gonna be here in 4 days." That ain't what I signed up
Yeah,
for. That's not
I ain't
what
got something to say 2 weeks before.
that's not what we pay the subscription for.
Yeah,
And this was not at the holidays.
yeah.
Cause I could see if you told me it was gonna take a little bit longer at Christmas, but
Hmm.
you be like, it's
Steve
April.
said go to the store. No, it costs more.
Tommy doesn't go to the store ever unless like we are doing like a real family outing.
Or I'm building something. I built this lamp right here. Yeah, I built that. Very proud of it too.
No, I haven't read the fine print. I need to though.
It's fine print. That's why I ain't read it, because it's fine and it's reading involved.
Don't do that. I'm sure somebody out there is reading this and ready to strike.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I like Amazon Prime.
You remember when they first introduced Prime Now? I think that's what it was
I
called.
think so.
Cause I remember the first thing that I ever bought on that was a pregnancy pillow when I was pregnant with Lily.
Mm, that wasn't too long ago.
That was
4 years.
5 years ago. I
Rapid fire. Beyonce is on track to um
ain't even talk about that. I went to see Beyonce,
you know,
like that old
she's
black man
breaking
said.
records with this concert.
Um, it was an amazing show. And I still cannot believe that she sold out three. I mean, I can believe it, but she sold out 3 nights in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was packed in there on Monday night.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Because they got to see Beyonce.
that when we got on the train, because Beyonce spent money apparently to have Marta go longer for concert goers. When we got when you were walking up, you was like, "Oh, all of us are going to see Beyonce."
Yeah, yeah. It was an attire.
It was in a
Yeah,
tire, and like the men, the girls, and the girls were all dressed up. Like it was a lot of guys there that just was like basically like what I had on, just a Beyonce t-shirt
yeah,
or Renaissance tour
yeah.
t-shirt. But it was definitely a sight to see. There were also a lot of people that didn't think through their shoes because we saw a lot of socks with shoes in hand
Did
walking through it. This was before the show started.
you? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they was like, nah, these hurt.
yeah, yeah. You got to do a lot of walking.
But I can believe that this tour is going to break records because like Atlanta makes sense why you would need multiple days, even in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And the fact that she had three
Yeah,
and probably could have added a fourth one and
probably.
sold it out.
Yeah,
People have been flying to other countries, not just other states, other countries to go to this show. Which is crazy because um
okay.
looking at people that I know that flew to other countries, they were like, it costs us less for a round trip flight and a concert ticket to sit on the floor in another country than it did for us to do it in America. But you said this is the highest grossing tour ever. Let me see what the record was. Beyonce tour records. Oh, they're saying Beyonce's Renaissance tour could out earn Taylor Swift's Eras by $500 million. Taylor Swift is still selling tickets to that tour as well. Cause one of the girls in my mom group just got her tickets. But I really also hope that Ticketmaster figures it out because the system for buying these Beyonce tickets was stupid. Like
Um,
I have to wait to get an email to get into a queue to buy the ticket.
yeah, that is
I had just determined that we weren't gonna go to the show.
us. I didn't
Like
like the new
me in
album.
general. Um, funny story. I didn't listen to the new album until the day of the concert, even though I
Yeah.
own the album. And I
Mhm.
didn't even the crazy thing is I didn't even spend money on this. So
Yeah.
this was a free Beyonce show for me. Thank God for Jesus.
Yeah.
But people were spending money. Like that girl
That was so funny to
that
me.
said she spent $1,400 to sit in the nosebleeds. And I was like, Mama, why? Our two tickets together was like
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah.
And that was with the service fees. And we were not in the nosebleeds.
Nah.
You made a bad decision.
I can't see myself spending $1,400 to see somebody perform songs that I can just listen to at home. But I can see myself spending $1,400 on something like a computer, a camera. Um,
It's all in what's important to you.
yeah,
And I think that her $1,400 was spent to stunt on people. I'm going,
I
you
don't care
not.
that much to stun on people.
But there are. a group of people who care that much to stun on
Like
people.
when I get my old school, right?
That's to stun on people.
No, it's to impress me because it's like it's gonna be a spaceship time machine. I'm gonna have futuristic on the inside, but on the outside, it's gonna look like it's souped up from like anyway.
Anywho,
Um, I got
said all that to say Beyonce was a great show.
yeah.
It's probably like 2 more months or 6 more weeks or so of shows. You get the opportunity to go, you should go.
Um, I was gonna say I'm glad you were able to go
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy yourself because I needed you to do that,
Mm-hmm.
or I not even needed. I wanted you to do that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you do so much for us. It's like, hey,
Oh, she definitely got.
yeah,
Yes, Miss Tillman. The process was very annoying. Like when I found out she was going on tour, I said I wasn't going to go to the concert because I hadn't listened to the Renaissance album. And then my best friend was like, "I got us tickets." I was like, "All right, well, I guess I'm going to see Beyonce." So, um, and he has seen her in a lot of different places. Like he saw her at Coachella.
yeah,
I think together, me and him have seen her 8 times,
yeah,
and this was the first time that we've seen her together.
yeah,
And it was just like it was visually an amazing show. Like she thought through the 300 section having just as good of a view as the people on the
yeah,
floor.
yeah.
And honestly, I think that some of the 300s had a better view than people in the 100
Oh
level
yeah,
because we actually went down to the 100 level during the last 4 songs.
yeah,
And because security gets lax the closer you get to the ending of the
yeah.
show. So we just was like, I would just go
Go
downstairs
to the
while
next
they
one.
was changing out the this when they was doing all the changes during in between the sets. But it was visually a great show. You can tell that there was a lot of thought put into everything, and like I would go see it again, but I'm not going to go
Yeah,
anywhere to go see it again. My
the
cousin was like, let's go to Houston. I was like, no.
nah, I'm good. The person I want to see, Jay-Z. That's one person I've never seen in concert, and I probably not. If he goes on tour again,
Hmm.
I'd be like, I want to
They
go.
go on the run again, you gonna go?
I gotta go. Um,
What she say? The process was crazy, but kept tickets accessible for people. If someone pays crazy amount for nosebleed, that sounds crazy. She's in St. Louis Monday, and there's still tickets for like $100 available. Yeah, there were still tickets available. Where we were, as well as like closer to the floor that were very reasonable on that day. But I already had a ticket, so I'm not buying another ticket.
yeah,
But I didn't understand all the I'm willing to spend whatever to go see Beyonce because if you just literally wait until the day of the show,
yeah,
there's a whole group of people who bought these tickets with no concern about their life and their schedule.
right.
You could have bought their ticket.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, guys, that's it. That's it for me. I'm done right
Okay.
now. It's
Mm.
two. I got two acts because it's one is funny and the other one is just I want you guys to kind of enjoy. The first one is go back, watch this live, see how many times I actually got up because every time I got up was to blow Lily's nose.
I got up twice, didn't I? I think. I think
I
I
ain't
got up
talking. I
twice.
ain't talking
No,
about
I know
you. I'm
you got
talking
up
about
more
me.
than me, but I'm saying I think I got up twice. So that's the total nose
Right.
blowings.
And that's what we've been dealing with since last Friday. So you guys go back, comment in the comments on the video how many times I got up. The second thing is Monday marks Artika and I's union for 7 years. So I want you guys to go out this weekend and celebrate with us our 7 year anniversary. We are planning to do a podcast episode about it. We got to record it at some point,
At some point, we'll
and
get that recorded.
we will get there. You guys check that out, support us,
Mm.
and enjoy the weekend.
Oh, we have to take our
Oh, and we'll be doing our anniversary shot too.
yeah.
Yeah. So last year was funny because Artika wasn't prepared for it.
Mm-mm.
Yes. Go ahead. But yeah, enjoy it, celebrate with us,
7 years don't get no itch.
yeah. Uh, and yeah, man, you got anything?
Thank you guys for the anniversary
Yeah, we appreciate
wishes.
that.
We appreciate it. 7 years married, 10 together,
18 knowing each other.
18 knowing each other.
That's crazy, right?
It is wild. I have known you half of my life.
Yeah. I've
Yikes.
lived. Well, I guess I haven't.
What?
Like, like I guess it's right there at the equal mark.
What?
Like I've lived as long as I've known you. Like it equals each other. Me knowing you and not knowing you.
Yeah.
So next year I'll
Yeah,
say,
and this is the month that we met.
yeah. Next year I'll say, hence August love story.
We
We got
got
married in August, met in August, had a
started
baby in August,
started dating in August.
started dating in August. What
All
else
those
happened in
things.
August?
Yay, bridesmaid.
But yeah, appreciate the happy anniversary wishes, and I wish I had something to do that had something to do with seven. Maybe I think of it over the weekend, and you
I have
guys just
nothing.
celebrate with us, man, because it's a joyous occasion, and it takes a village, and you guys are a part of our village. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and have a great weekend. Peace.
Bye, y'all.